Can you hear me now? Guys, can you hear me? Hi, Johanna. Hi, Gossip. Callie. Hi, everyone. Dragon. Rob. How are you? I think I've got everyone in here. I wanted to cover a few things tonight. Let me see if I can share my screen. I had a plan of action tonight. I wanted to cover a lot of things, and the title of my show is Enough with the Playground Mess, and let's get down to business with exposing the ponds, the scams, the pyramids, all of this good stuff that's going on. Oh, Lordy. Let me see if I can remember how to get in here and drop my StreamYard account. Now that my avatar's working. Oh, Gossip, I hope you get to feeling better. I know headaches are a nightmare some days. Hey, Mandy. Miss Truth and Justice. Bridget, hi. Asia, good to see you, everyone. There's several things I want to cover. I want to cover how people are targeted, how people are gang stalked. I'm going to ask you to be careful in sharing your personal information. And just be careful with all of it. Let me see if I can activate something real quick on my phone, because I need to see chat, and I'm not going to be able to see all of chat on StreamYard if I don't do this. My volume turned up here. I'm upset with a lot of things that's been exposed this past week and over the weekend. If I miss anyone, everyone welcome in. Tonight's show is for awareness and education. If I'm able to share my screen, which I hope I can soon, I wanted to cover a few things about knowing the aspects of exploitation, gang stalking, people targeting others with false information, and how they generate in case files and just junk files is what I call them, because there's no validity to a lot of this nonsense that they create just to make money off of others. If y'all hear the dinging, it's not my doorbell. Still have a few technical issues going on. Thank you, Gossip. I appreciate that. And also, I do not have the Fair Use Act to post, so if someone would help me with that, I would greatly appreciate that as well. I'm going to try and share my screen because I wanted to get started with a few things. We all know that a lot of people have been exploited. And a lot of times when people are talking about exploitation, there's a multi-level of concerns there. There's exploitation under domestic servitude, forced labor, sex exploitation, enforced criminality. And we're all adults in here tonight, and we pretty well can understand that We all know that sexual exploitation is actions and activities to where you're forced to give away or sell sex, and this goes for adults and children. Unfortunately, you have forced labor, where quid pro quo, this for that. You get targeted and you're forced to initiate monetary exchanges in various ways to where you're working for nothing. It's servitude, it's slavery. You have domestic servitude. And what's unfortunate about domestic servitude, people get involved in relationships and they're lied to and manipulated to where it's slavery. But there is a website. I wish my screen would share. Good grief. There's a lot of good information out there on types of exploitation. I'm going to see if I can do this. I'm going to drop my StreamYard account so I can have someone to help me in explaining some of these things, because we've got some really good, skilled individuals in chat right now, and I'm very honored to call them friends. Because we're supposed to be working together, not against one another. All right, I just dropped there we go. I just dropped my StreamYard. Tonight I'm going to ask you respectfully, let's try to avoid bringing up any content that might be related to open investigations, to pending court matters. I don't want anyone specifically named. I want to eventually walk everyone through on how to properly report things, document, and so that we can hold these people accountable for their actions. And I don't see anybody coming in to help me. We have a lot of gang stalking going on. We have pyramid and Ponzi schemes going on. We've got a lot of e-begging going on, and e-begging falls under both of those categories. So, and there, hey, who do we have here?
Hey, love.
Hey, darling, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm trying to get my facts straight and get my screen to share, but I'm having a little technical difficulty here.
I'm trying to think.
Hi, my ass, Dark to Light, welcome. Love Bug, Bridget, River.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think now.
Well, y'all bear with me in chat for just a moment. We're going to figure this out because this is some important information I wanted to cover. All right, I have share screen. I have my tab. And now I can't see y'all. Hold on. And it's not showing. It's not going to let me share. How unfortunate.
Well, there's got to be a way where you can just trying to think now, love.
Wait. I think we might have a situation here under control. Let's check this out.
Yeah, right.
Ha ha! What about now?
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can, love.
How many of you have ever heard of the Blue Campaign?
I have not.
The Blue Campaign is was created by the Department of Homeland Security in bringing awareness to human trafficking. Now, regardless of what many of you think or how many of you think about Department of Homeland Security, these people have this agency has, I don't care what you want to call it, they have valuable information, very valuable information. And I would ask that each and every one of you that view my channel, that you familiarize yourself with some of these indicators of human trafficking. That's a little better. Let me turn my volume down. When something is brought to our attention and we as compassionate individuals, we have to assess the situation. Now, sometimes we find ourselves to prematurely respond to certain situations and circumstances, but they have created an indicator card. Now, I use this quite often, but I'm a compassionate person, and I respond sometimes a little too quick on things. But here are a few indicators if you're not sure of a situation of trafficking. And this primarily applies to adults, but there's also a card for child trafficking and sex trafficking for children. That falls under a very sensitive group. But you can go to the Department of Homeland Security, DHS.gov, Blue Campaign, and they even have hotline numbers that you can call. I would strongly urge you, if you have any questions, to contact and reach out to someone who absolutely will be your support person in making these reports. You can don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to make these reports, because these investigators are highly skilled and trained. And what may not be directly involved in one thing may have underlying issues that can fall under something else, if that makes sense. I know that's confusing, but that's the way it works. Yes, you can go and get a free human trafficking certificate. You don't have to have a certificate, just be aware. But yes, you can get a human trafficking certificate. This does not mean you can traffic people. I had to throw that in there because of my warped sense of humor. But you can go to several websites. Now, indicators of human trafficking. Please just, I'm not going to elaborate on this because I don't want to give DHS a whole lot of time. Just know that these sources are available to you. What we have been dealing with, though, is exploitation. Let my screen change. It's not going to change. Let's go here. I'll let you familiarize yourself with that for just a minute. Hey, there you are. Give me just a second. I'm working on you. There you are. Sorry, I couldn't see you. I'm sorry. I had to go back to my other screen.
It's all good.
But there's a lot of indicators of human trafficking. I do want to clarify that even though you see human trafficking mentioned on news stations, in movies, on social media groups, media platforms, human trafficking is so multifaceted that the propaganda behind it, there has to be a trifecta, or it's just otherwise deemed as domestic abuse or domestic violence. And if there's not enough information there to complete the trifecta, information is oftentimes seemingly botched. So make sure your information is thorough Make sure your information is factual. Just make sure that your ducks are in a row before you report it. Now, truth and justice, just throw her in the back seat if you're going to traffic your sister. I'm sure she needs a chauffeur every once in a while.
No, I'm proud of you, love. You figured it out.
I think we're getting there. Now I've got to see if I can do this one. All right, so let's go to another one here. This show is probably going to be brief unless we get into some extensive information. Pardon me, I've still got a cough.
You're all good.
We've covered that. So let's talk about types of exploitation that are often triggers that play a factor into trafficking operations. I mean, there's a lot of things going on with human trafficking, and exploitation is the number one method that they use, number one tool that they use. Are y'all okay? Is any other creators in this chat having problems that whenever they're broadcasting, it's not showing everyone's avatar?
My avatar is up. I see mine. I see yours. I see the other person that's up here too.
Okay, on my other monitor, you're not showing.
Well, that's weird.
Oh, there we go. Hey, it worked. Yay. Okay. So with the types of exploitation that I tried to start out with, this website is from the UK. It's athub.org, and I have put these links in my description box of this broadcast just so that I'm not struck for not noting my content. Let's hope it works. I'm just trying to give credit where credit is due. Exploitation. It's common for many victims of trafficking to have suffered multiple forms of exploitation. There's grooming, conditioning, forced labor involved, even with children, submissive acts, and then it leads up to other nefarious actions and activities.
Dead bondage.
Yep, that too. Having restrained childhood. You know, someone that's had a restrained childhood to where they were limited on getting involved in school or extracurricular activities, housekeeping, things that, normal everyday activities that a lot of people take for granted is used as a punishment in control and grooming. Even unsanitary living conditions is also used as a method of punishment in that grooming and conditioning. You've got narcissistic abuse involved in all this. And now, if I do not want to trigger anyone, I just want to make sure that we're adults and we fully understand that this sometimes gets graphic. This sometimes is triggering with topic, but I'm all about awareness, and sometimes it's ugly. So if you feel like you're being triggered in any kind of way, please just protect yourself and your feelings. Try to be respectful. I'm going to be open. I'm not sugarcoating anything for anyone, but there's going to be some things that I often discuss that can be possibly triggering for some people. I mean, no disrespect. I'm not defaming or belittling. This is just like pulling the scab off of an old sore, so to speak. The domestic servitude, I see this happen all the time, especially with domestic relationships. They're carrying, like I said, they're forced to carry out household chores, caring for other children, caring for others' children. their exploitation is usually hidden. They work long hours. They're punished in certain degrees. I am so glad my pop-ups are not showing on the screen. Victims have been forced to sleep on the floor, denied contact with family and friends, denied medical treatment. I'm going to stray off course just for a moment. Denying medical treatment. I'm not telling you to go out and stalk your local ag centers, but one of the biggest things is that there's usually someone around that is highly trained and skilled in first aid and medical care, or they have a degree of medical profession experience, that they will be the one to initiate medical care for these servants, for these people and these victims. They will learn to self-treat, and they will learn to treat others. It's a horrific situation, and it can get pretty ugly. It can get very ugly. Children make up a quarter of the reported number of victims in domestic servitude. In my own community, I see this more than what you think. It's saddening that you see it. It becomes familiar to you, and people think, "Oh, well, that just happens all the time. That's just the way they are." And their rights are protected, but then again, you got to be aware of what's going on too, because there may be a day where that child reaches out to you, and we've got another matter on our hands.
And just to add, oftentimes they will single out people in communities. They will find out people's personal information, like their financial situations, people that are heavily in debt, nurses, doctors, so on and so forth, and offer large sums of money to get help in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I've got 3 different screens going, guys, so I need some help with chat if y'all can help me with it.
What do you need?
Y'all just don't understand. Y'all just don't realize how much I do appreciate y'all. I really do appreciate every one of you in here, because everyone has got their own experiences, whether it be linked to personal or professional. Mine fall under both categories, and sometimes it gets pretty intense. Forced labor. Okay, Petey, you made a great point. They're going to offer money. They're going to offer help. They're going to offer access. Now, I'm trying to be careful about revealing this. I've got a previous case file that has went inactive for a minute that absolutely falls under the suspicion or allegation of child exploitation. Where a local community member accessed a family's home and propositioned them with child care. When they refused, they received a visit from our local child protective services. They will do this. They will absolutely do this. And why can I not hear y'all?
Because I'm muted for a minute, love.
Oh, okay. I thought I lost you there for a minute.
No, I'm just trying to load up my tablet.
This is too important.
I saw that Queen said she had a question. Not sure if she's still in here.
Let me watch the chat, and Queen, I'll let you ask that question. Go ahead, Queen. Queen, you can come on panel if you want. Okay, Queen, I'll wait for you. If Queen asks that question, can someone point it out to me? Because like I said, I've got a lot going on here. I'm one person here.
No, she didn't. I don't see where she asked the question. She just said she had a question.
Okay, well, she can ask anytime, and if she does ask that question, say her question's up, and I'll grab it.
All right.
There's
I got my tablet going, so.
Okay, thank you. Sexual exploitation. Young people are particularly vulnerable to sexual exploitation, and it goes for both boys and girls. I really like this particular site. This site has information that was collected and produced a long time. And when I say a long time before the United States was fully aware of an international awareness for human and child trafficking. So I really like this particular site for information. It's pretty well cut and dry. They're forced into forms of prostitution, pornography. They use means of control with sexual servitude or forced sexual services. They work in private homes. There's violence and intimidation, child abuse. If a child has any means of, okay, now this is one of my peeves. This falls under vulnerable children. Vulnerable children are a huge target. They are abused and exploited for financial gain. People file government assistance on these children. So
Queen's question is up.
Huh?
Queen's question is up.
The minor child, okay, Queen. Okay, the minor child to avoid arrest and free meth.
It's a two-part.
It's a two-part. Let me look, honey. Hold on. Darling, I get you. Okay. The minor child to avoid arrest and free meth. Okay. Minor children avoiding arrest. I'm having difficulty understanding what you mean there. And free meth. If there's drugs in the home, then that falls back on the adults, not the child.
I don't see her first part of the question.
I don't either.
I don't either, and that's what I'm looking for.
I don't see the first part, Queen. You're going to have to help me out here, hon.
I'm looking.
The mother abducted the children so that the minor child could avoid arrest and free meth. Okay. Queen, you're broken up with that. I would like to get more information, but I'm going to ask that you email me for clarification so that any information shared is not distorted in the chat. Respectfully, I would like to know more about this. If the mother abducted children, the way that I would respond to that being brought to my attention, just as how you have presented it right in there, I want to know who has custody. The second part is, I want copies of court paperwork. The third thing is, have they contacted authorities? The fourth thing is, if you haven't, I'm going to. Because I don't play with non-custodial interference, and I don't play with drugs. So if you want to email me, sweetheart, please do. Email is in my about information. Okay.
Maybe Queen can come up and clarify.
Well, she can't. Let me go back in here and drop the link again. Well, I don't, Queen, with all due respect, I know.
Okay, she should email you from just
Yes, you need to
her
email me,
second
darling.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to email me. We need to keep our personal experiences out of a lot of these chat rooms, out of mutual respect for one another, because this is how you get targeted. It's not that I'm not willing to help you in any kind of way. Out of utter respect, I really would like to hear from you through an email. Okay, Queen, I'm sorry. I can't allow you to congest my chat with personal information like that, sweetheart. You're just going to have to email me. No, not without clarification on your information. I'm not going to get involved through my chat. No, I'm sorry. That's out of utter respect for you and everyone else, and especially the children. Okay, let's get back to this for a minute. All right, we've talked about briefly with forced labor being involved, sexual exploitation, enforced criminality. All right, now we're fixing to get into the big time information. Enforced criminality. Using children, using children and vulnerable adults is what it should say, and enforcing them to do criminal acts. Here it states pickpocketing, ATM theft, DVDs, cannabis cultivation, drug trafficking. This is exactly what they do to you. They will absolutely get you, groom you, condition you to fund them. They will financially exploit you and then create a financial obligation to where you will always be indebted to them. Go out and get me more. You ain't going to do this. I'm not going to do this for you. I'm not, it's back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a debt bondage.
Right.
Give me more, cash out me, PayPal me, cash out me, PayPal me. Come on, folks, these people need this. Come on, folks, these people need that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with helping people in need. But be cautious of who those people are and be cautious of who they're associated with.
Right.
Here in the United States, many people, many children, and many young adults are exploited in this manner. Then you have a whole different level of benefit fraud. Now, they hold their money. They have several false identities. They steal your identity theft. They steal the identities of children. And then when they reach adulthood, guess what?
Hey, love, not to interrupt you, but Pretty, whatever her name is, she needs you to drop the link again.
I got you, darling. Hold on. I got you.
Sorry.
You're fine. Thank you. Like I said, I got a lot going on here. I'm looking and reading all at the same time.
Trying to help.
You're more than helpful. Hold on. Did she get booted again?
Possibly.
I see that now. Why am I up there twice?
I don't know.
Just go back. What happened?
Love, I don't see the link in chat.
Oh, I get it. Hold on. I just dropped it. It just showed up.
Hang on.
There you are.
There. Right now I see it.
Okay. All right.
It's really
We'll get back on
strange because
track
as
here
soon
in
as
just.
I get on StreamYard, it's like my phone starts to overheat. It's really weird. It's never done that before.
I know I've had the same issue myself too. And I've
Huh.
got my phone on the charger right now at the moment too. So
Well, I've got my phone on the charger hooked up here beside me so I can watch chat while I'm showing my screen, and I've got my TV set up in here, and that's a beautiful profile pic. Let me go back here.
Hey,
Go back to
Jen, I'm going to
yes,
drop
darling.
back down because it's going to overheat again. So just if you need me to answer any questions, just say it and then I'll type it.
Okay, that'll work too. We'll try that for a minute.
but no, I agree with everything you're saying because people scam everybody every day. You know, they say this person needs help, this person needs this. And how do you really truly know that they really need help, that it ain't fake, just to scam you out of money?
Well, it's not just scamming out of money. What are they doing criminally that's going to ruin that individual's life?
Well, okay, you took the words out of my mouth. Correct. So it's not like, it's like, I'm trying to think here. How can I word this? Okay, let's say this person was trying, this is hypothetically, let's say this person was trying to earn money to help someone in need, like let's say they needed a new bed or they needed groceries, stuff like that. And what I'm saying in that respect, how do you know that's really truly what's needed? And how do you know it's really the truth and they're not doing criminal activities besides?
Well, that's where your human nature kicks in.
Right.
There is no harm and no foul to genuinely help someone. Because if
Right.
you take the time out of your life to be
Right.
compassionate, to help another individual or a
Right.
family,
Right.
and they misuse or misappropriate those funds or services that you're willing to share with them, that's on them.
Right. Correct.
So if you feel inclined to be compassionate and help someone, and they're genuine with their intent, they're going to thank you and they're going to show you and they're going to return the compassion in being
Right.
grateful.
Yep. I agree with that.
You're right, Truth and Justice. I was watching a movie one time, and there was one key phrase that stuck out at me that was shared with me when I was a child, but growing up, you kind of forget those until you're reminded. And in that scene of that movie, it says, "Don't ever ask for something that should have been offered."
Right.
And I get that,
Yeah.
but don't be afraid to ask if you truly need something, because someone is going. If you're true to what you need, they're going to know this. It's on you on how you do it, how you deal with it. You can't, this is where they dictate and control you. They want you to feel guilty for helping someone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're constantly begging. That's exploitation.
I agree.
Yes, you can. Well, I say you can. Gossip, I'll share this with you. Now, right now, with what I'm dealing with, my own personal situation, a few months ago, I had someone that brought it to my attention that they could not pay a bill that they were worried about. And it was important that that bill got paid. So I reached out to the person that for the bill, the company, and I said I would like to initiate a pay it forward for this individual. That company would not allow me to pay that bill for them. And I told them, I said, well, I want to do a pay it forward. Well, we have a fund you can put the money into. And I said, no, I'm not comfortable with that. Well, you could take the money to them and pay that and let them pay the bill. I said, no, I'm not going to do that either. I said, here's what I'm going to do. I got on the phone and I called the woman and I said, can you meet me up here? And she said, what are you doing? I said, they're not going to give me your balance. And they're not going, you don't have to do anything. I said, I want to help you in what you're dealing with. I said, you need to come up here so they know and understand that the way they're treating me in order to help someone else is unethical. The second thing is about this, you need to come up here and they offer a program to temporarily help you, and you need to fill out the paperwork and you can put me down as a backup so I can help you if I need to more. So that she came up there and I was allowed to pay a portion, but I was not able to pay the full amount for her. Now, I'm kind of glad I didn't pay the full amount because she didn't tell me the whole story behind the situation. But I was glad that I could help with what little I did help with. You know, that was when my means were a little bit better settled than what they are now. And I'm not bragging about that. That's just some things that you might encounter when you try to help someone. I'm not bragging in it at all, but those are just some of the things that you might encounter when it comes time to actually help someone for genuine reasons. Sometimes you run into things like that. I know here where I'm at, we have a lot of organizations and that they're exhausted. Their funds are exhausted. And you're gonna find people who are truly in need. You are. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, let's get off of that for just a moment. Let's go back to this.
Yeah.
How long have I been on? I've been on almost an hour now. All right.
No,
So then you have all right. Let's get into. Okay, Petey. I think you're getting ready to come back up because I'm getting into the good stuff. All right. Let's get into knowing what some of these people are doing behind the scenes. And I'm going to have to do this a different way. Uh-oh. There we are. Go back in here. Well, I don't like that I have to stop my screen every time to share another screen.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this right here.
Okay.
Like the swirly in. Because this right here, this right here is a federal crime. And although this information comes from data collected out of the state of California, it still applies. Let's share those cookies. Got any milk? All right, can you show this? Okay, so let me look at my chat for just a moment while this is loading. Hey, Jackie Blue. I just seen you. Well, darling. All right, now. Gang stalking, mind control, and cults. I've been on YouTube for a minute. I've been born for a lot longer. What is gang stalking?
Calling Dr. Petey. Calling Dr. Petey.
All right, I think we can muddle through this until she comes back in. All right, anybody else is welcome to join. You can track down the StreamYard link, or I can repost it here just in a second. All right, there is a whole lot of nonsense going on in the world.
Yes, there is.
We have people gang stalking others, falsely identifying others, targeting falsely identified people, literally stalking and harassing people, utilizing personal information to gain access to people and children, false claiming, creating false case files, using wire fraud, and they're using conspiracy theories. And yes, I said conspiracy theories. I'm not going down that long path. They use conspiracy theories to garner members in their organized gang stalking and frauds. Conspiracy theories, when I say that they're being used, you've got a lot of compassionate people that are very educated and knowing and understanding where actual truths lie. They will manipulate you. They will put out propaganda. They will put out false information just to hook you in. It's kind of like a used car salesman. And it is a problem, and it is a federal crime. This website is from gangstalkingmindcontrolcults.com. Now, I can go in here and give you some more credits. Like I said, I copied and pasted this link into my description on this broadcast to give credit where credit's due with this research. I'm watching chat for a minute because I'm going to ask a question. Yes, you have to be a realist. You have to be a realist. We all know that child trafficking is happening. We all know sex trafficking is happening. We all know exploitation is happening. But are we fully aware of when and who it's affecting? When I say when it's affecting, I mean, is it going on right now? And is there enough information to support an investigation by proper trained and skilled authorities? Organized gang stalkers. Why does this sound like a video game to me?
Love, I don't know.
Targeted individual quote. Now, when I read this stuck out. I mean, this hit home. I'm gonna read it to you. Targeted individual quote. The goal is to create a nationwide system of vigilantes who do not think for themselves, but follow orders. The evil-doing U.S. gov-paid defense contractors, private army of shooters, not thinkers. The network is ran by contractors and by Department of Homeland Security's 78 fusion centers. The propaganda is that they are fighting terrorists, and that is what they tell these vigilante suckers. The truth is that they are constructing a nationwide GPS cell phone directed prison system that now contains all Americans. Now, does this mean Department of Homeland Security is targeting everyone? No, this means you're collecting data. It just means you're collecting data.
Correct.
Does this exist? Absolutely. We've seen it for ourselves.
Mhm.
But this is an extensive amount of research. Organized gang stalking, also known as gang stalking, call stalking, organized vigilante stalking, stalking by proxy, community-based harassment, and covert war. We are essentially harassment and discrediting campaigns waged against a targeted individual. They use coordinated psychological warfare attacks consisting of stalkings, noise campaigns, sensitizing, and the spreading of lies and rumors are executed in an effort to virtually neutralize and destroy the victim. Wow, doesn't that sound familiar? I'm going to take a minute and look at the chat. We are talking about both gang and group stalking. They use different methods of doing this. Coordinated psychological warfare. Okay, noise campaigns. Okay, using people from all backgrounds and vocations to harass. Track 24/7, sometimes organizing lethal vehicle accidents, poisonings, electronic harassment, home invasions, property destruction, corrupt or ignorant doctor diagnosis given to stamp the victim as bogus, mentally ill with delusions, paranoid, or schizophrenia, etc. Everything is done covertly and with a sophisticated real-time dispatching system to organize the criminals' harassments and attacks. Often in the hundreds or to thousands of criminals participating as a coordinated mob at any given time while the criminals do their normal routines of work, shopping, commuting to and from work, leisure, etc., using the method of moving foot and vehicular surveillance techniques and computers, cell phones, verbal and visual cues, and every other conceivable type of communication. Wow.
That's a lot of information.
Now do most of you now understand why it's important to protect most of your personal information? Because all it takes is just one personal experience that gives your name, your location, your lifestyle, your work history, your work ethic. Exactly. Envy and jealousy and fear of others. Man, I'm getting into that. Yeah, I'm getting into that. Question. I'm going to go on and get into the questions and answers. This is a really good website for information. Does the word gang, as in gang stalking, refer to street gangs? No. The word gang refers to multiple people who organize or group together for a common purpose. What is the difference between stalking by a single perpetrator and organized gang stalking? Okay. All forms of stalking are physically, emotionally, and psychologically harmful to the victim. With regards to gang stalking, the abuse is particularly evasive as the victim is not able to distinguish friend from foe. There goes that animosity again.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the population is aware of cases such as jilted lover as stalker and can readily identify key features of such abuse. Little known phenomena of organized gang stalking allows the perpetrator's anonymity and enables future victimizations. as stalkers are actually encouraged by the lack of repercussions. Please keep in mind that victims of organized gang stalking have to deal with an abuse engineered to make them appear insane should they complain to authorities. I want to read that again. Please keep in mind that victims of organized gang stalking have to deal with an abuse engineered to make them appear insane should they complain to authorities. It is no wonder that victims of organized gang stalking are far more likely to commit suicide than victims of individual stalkers. All right, let me see if I've got any questions. Exactly. Vindictiveness and revenge. Yep. Okay. So, is organized gang stalking illegal? Yes, despite what the leaders or members of stalking and harassment groups say or believe, all forms of stalking and harassment are illegal. Stalking can be defined as a pattern of repeated and unwanted attention, harassment, contact, or any other course of conduct directed at a specific person that would cause a reasonable person to feel fear. Stalking is against the law in every state. Ooh, that sounds good, don't it? Stalking is against the law in every state. Got a question? Let's start right there. Is public information stalking?
Not if it's public.
There's a fine line there.
Right.
If you have a public platform and you are opening yourself up to the public, that's not stalking. Is it stalking to go to a musician's concert? Is it stalking to be a roadie for a special music group and that you go to every one of their concerts just to see your favorite singer? It's only stalking if it's you. Now, Truth and Justice, are you reading my mind? That's right. There has to be proven malicious intent. Hey, cowgirl. Where'd I get to? Stalking across state lines or in federal territories is illegal under federal law. You want to know how to look that law up? Go to United States Code Annotated Stalking. It should be, it's under Title 18 of the United States Code Annotated. A willful course of conduct involving repeated or continuing harassment of another individual that would cause a reasonable person to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, threatened, harassed, or molested, and that actually causes the victim to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, threatened, harassed, or molested. A person who intentionally and repeatedly follows or harasses another person and who makes a credible threat, either expressed or implied, with the intent to place that person in reasonable fear of death or serious bodily harm, is guilty of the crime of stalking. Exactly. Yes. You're right, Gossip and Truth. You're absolutely right. And that's exactly what we're dealing with. And it's, I want you to look. Did I not just tell y'all that that was under Title 18? Ta-da!
Mhm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Harassment means conduct directed toward a victim that includes, but is not limited to, repeated or continually unconsenting contact that would cause a reasonable individual to suffer emotional distress and that actually causes the victim to suffer emotional distress. Title 18 U.S.C. 241, Conspiracy Against Rights. If you've been watching my channel, you'll see that I did one on this not too long ago. The statute makes it unlawful for two or more persons to conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person of any state, territory, or district in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him or her by the Constitution or the laws of the United States. Please understand that code. Please. Intuitive, unless you're an employer. Doesn't matter if you're an employer or not. These are your basic human rights. And you can access your basic human rights through your United States Constitution and through the UDHR, which is the United Declaration of Human Rights. These were all signed into our government, our judicial, our executive, our legislative governments in the United States to be utilized for every person, every individual in our nation. So if you want to allow your employer to be your dictator, then keep following their policy because you have no protection. Write this stuff down. Write it down. If someone does something to, now I'm not telling you, I'm not trying to get you to say, oh, that offended me. You know, you gotta have validity. I get offended all the time. And I say things to my friends that if the person thought it was intimidating or threatening to them, you know, I would try to clarify that. But no. Know your rights. Understand your rights. Okay, every job that you've had, they've pulled all records. Okay, you signed a contract giving them that right to pull those records.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk about contract laws later. Contract law does not apply to your basic human rights. I'm sorry, it doesn't. I've actually quit jobs because they imposed and infringed on my constitutional rights. The goal of organized gang stalking is to silence a victim, drive a victim insane or possibly to the point of suicide, or destroy the victim's reputation and believability, as the person will likely be viewed as a mentally ill should they complain or report the abuse. Ooh, that almost sounds like gaslighting, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it does. Indeed.
To cause the target to appear mentally unstable is one, and this is achieved through a carefully detailed assault using advanced psychological harassment techniques and a variety of other tactics that are usual protocol for gang stalking, such as a street theater, mobbing, pervasive petty disrespecting. Wait. Pervasive petty disrespecting. Are they talking about bullying? Organized gang stalking is also used to gather information on individuals as well as force individuals to move or leave an area. Ooh, let's think about that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to dive deep on that one particular statement, but I think I'm going to reserve it for the moment.
I get you.
Do the stalkers ever question or check to see if a targeted victim is indeed guilty of a crime? Oh, wait, I'm from a county that I'm nowhere near, and I've been a convicted felon of 9 different identities. Sounds familiar, don't it?
Oh, yes, it does.
No, there is an assumption of guilt among the stalkers. Also, remember that many stalkers are paid for their harassment. So these individuals are not concerned with the innocence or guilt of a victim. Assuming a victim knows the group that is behind their stalking, should they attempt to openly communicate with them? No. Don't fuel the flame. Just don't fuel the flame unless you've got a strong backbone to do it. Intuitive, honey, I get what you're saying, but we're not talking tonight about applications of employment. We're not talking about applications for housing. We're talking about the application and how to understand the process of reporting people who are infringing upon your rights and damaging your integrity. Assuming a victim knows the group, attempt to communicate. Okay, absolutely not. For one, the stalkers automatically assume the victim is guilty of an atrocity and thus deserves the treatment. Second, many stalkers actually want the victim to engage them in some fashion. In these instances, the interaction will be recorded and used as evidence against the victim, especially in attempts to suggest the victim is mentally unstable. If a charitable and respectful society practices organized gang stalking on the side, should we assume the victims deserve such treatment? Absolutely not. When people take the law into their own hands, any notion of law is destroyed altogether. I should emphasize that the majority of organized gang stalking victims are completely innocent of any crimes. Any group that performs organized gang stalking is not positive in nature nor beneficial to society, despite any charitable works they may perform. Likewise, such societies only remain respectable because any and all evidence of wrongdoing is conveniently destroyed or eliminated. Well, I can respect what you're trying to say, Intuitive, but let's try to stay focused because this information, I took a lot of time out to help people in what I do. So let's I'm just asking, if you want to share anything personal that you're dealing with, please email me. Please email me. Don't put it out there for these fools. Motivations for organized gang stalking. Guys, I'm sorry I'm spending so much time, but this one website has an abundance of good information here. And I wanted to share it. They're not a sponsor or nothing like that. It was just an abundance of good information that I wanted to share. I want to encourage everyone that's sharing this experience with me and being able to broadcast like this to utilize your own skills and resources and do the research. Because there are some really good information, and know your source. Just know your source, because I looked into this particular group and made sure that they were accredited before I shared it. Motivations for abuse. Revenge for a real or imagined offense, true or false accusations of a horrible crime of which the victim has gotten away with, silencing a corporate whistleblower, defecting from a cult, a perceived enemy of a group or organization, and knowing too much are all examples of possible motivations. Due consideration should be used as the motivations of the stalking and harassment groups are in no way limited to the above. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they're talking about a terroristic group of individuals, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it does. That indeed. I think you're on to
Let's try not
something.
sharing any names, but let's just keep it in the back of our head that, let's think of the past, let's think of the present, let's think of how to avoid this becoming the future.
Right.
All right. Why do you think some people participate in gang stalking?
I think I might have a pretty good idea, though. What if they're manipulated and forced into doing it since they've got info on them?
That's a recruitment.
Right?
See? The stalkers, for the most part, are everyday citizens. Other stalkers are street thugs who have been recruited or hired to harass and intimidate. Some stalkers are actual private investigators who have been hired to gather information concerning the victim. Many stalkers are members of volunteer police groups. You're right. Most of them don't even know they're actively doing it. Hi, Kensuji.
Well, my thinking is what if, people are forced into it because they've got so much on the other person? Like, let's say, hypothetically, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to, do this or do that and throw whatever info I have on you out. You know what I mean there?
Absolutely. I'm going to put the link back out. I've been dormant for a minute.
I mean, think about it. It happens every day.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That indeed. Yeah.
It happens every day.
Yeah.
Why people, okay, all right. Why people participate in gang stalking? Some stalkers are told lies. Wow.
And they believe it.
Other positive or negative in nature in order to gain their participation. So let me read that again. Some stalkers are told lies, either positive or negative in nature, in order to gain their participation. Who's being targeted most on YouTube? Is it the subs or the creators?
I think it's a mixture of both.
It's most definitely a mixture of both. Yeah. Okay, let me go back here. I don't know if somebody's dropped a... Okay, I don't have anybody... Okay.
It would thing if you heard it.
Some stalkers are paid or receive... Huh?
Nothing.
Say that one more time.
I said if someone is backstage, you'll know. It'll ding.
Okay. When I'm sharing my screen, I have to flip back to StreamYard to see if anyone's sitting there.
Oh, okay.
If I pause, I'm looking at chat, so just bear with me. If I'm boring you to death, put a 1 in the chat.
Yeah, you're all good. There's some things that you and I should discuss later.
Okay. It sounds like a good idea.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, they're definitely mutting around with it. That's for sure, gossip.
Yeah.
Okay. Some stalkers are paid or receive other benefits. Stalkers belonging to an organization may simply be following orders. Some stalkers may use their participation in order to repay a past favor. Racism, prejudice, homophobia, or otherwise hatred of a victim. Peer pressure, need to fit in. Let me reread that. Peer pressure or need to fit in. Former stalkers have stated they participated out of fear of becoming the next target should they go against the group. You're welcome, Kinsuji. Well, I think we've all experienced that in the last couple of however long we've been on the YouTube streets.
Oh yeah. Long time.
Entertainment value, thrill of participation in an illegal activity. Some stalkers mistakenly believe it is their civil duty. Now, I've used the word civil duty, but I know what the word civil duty means. Exactly right, Petey. Exactly right. Who or what is ultimately behind gang stalking? Now we're getting into the good stuff. Corporations, government organizations, military, some police, corrupt cops, societies, fraternities, orders, religious cults, and destructive new age groups, concerned community groups, vigilante groups, criminal organizations, volunteer police organizations, etc. Exactly right. Exactly right. Google Earthing, utilizing every source. It's one thing to collect information to stabilize a concern for someone's well being and then being malicious with intent to be out to harm someone else, either physically or intellectually. If someone is absolutely doing something unethical and immoral to where someone's life is in danger, absolutely report that shit. Examples of organized gang stalking and harassment: slash tires, threatening police calls, I'm so sorry, I misread that, let me back up. Slash tires, threatening phone calls, verbal assaults by strangers, property damage, death threats, following on foot or by vehicle, bizarre notes and drawings left, loitering, anonymous false accusations to friends, family, and neighbors, character assassination, smear campaigns, blacklisting, psychological abuse, etc. Oh my Lord, better put your hands on me now, sweet Jesus, because I think we just went to home base on this one. Oh my gosh. Sounds like to me the victimizers become the victims. I don't know about y'all. I ain't no victim. And you're absolutely right. Everyone in Tennessee is a mandated reporter. Does this encourage tattletelling? Make sure you got your facts straight. Make sure you got enough information to support the concern or the allegation. Because nothing pisses off a criminal more than for somebody to tell the truth on them.
That's very true. Indeed.
Tactics and methods used by these organized gang stalking and harassment groups include the following techniques or several types that are often used against targeted individuals. There are other techniques used, but these are some of the primary ones. Anchoring. Okay. Anchoring is a technique employed by stalkers to implant a false motivation or reason behind the stalking, preventing the victim from discovering the truth. In more sinister examples, anchoring involves the implantation of evidence to persuade the victim some other group or organization is responsible for the abuse. Anchoring, now, I don't use Wikipedia. You can actually go to some of the other law enforcement websites and they can give you a more stable definition, or you can even utilize the United States Code annotated for a lot of terminologies here for a better understanding. All you do is type in United States Code annotated anchoring definition. It'll pull it up and it'll give you every law and case law and application. In organized gang stalking, anchoring is used to make the target have fear with things happening in your daily life that's considered to be normal. And that can be done with frequent demonstrations. The key is the frequency, just like other organized gang stalking methods. For example, people show you a pin everywhere you go, and their attitude is rude or crazy against you. You don't know them. You just wonder what's going on. Imagine that happens every day for a week, for a month, for a year, and then that makes you have fear with a pin. In this case, a pin is anchored with your state of fear. It can be anything: an open car door or trunk, a pencil, a cell phone, notebook, computer, a medical mask, clothes of the same color, anything. So every time you go somewhere during the day, an anchoring threat is made by a car or truck with the doors or trunk open and no one in it sitting in someone's driveway along my route. This is a sign to get out. Wow. Okay. I'm going to say that this technique has been used on me. I have been in my town or in my office, and I have been on the phone, and I have seen the same make and model vehicle pass in front of me on the roadway multiple times. Does this mean that the driver of that vehicle is out to get me? No. Does this mean that it's the same vehicle? Nope. But their intent is exactly what they've done. That's just like the make and model of my own personal vehicle. I've been told that my vehicle has been seen in an area of one of my individuals that has came to me for what I do. Come in here and they say, "Hey, did you drive by my house the other day?" Nope. Not even been in that area of the county. But what that individual is dealing with has been instilled and anchored that she needs to be in fear of me because she has been told that I'm not going to help her, that I'm out to get her. So they have manipulated the trust and found a way to manipulate her in using an anchoring technique to where anything visual associated with me is going to be a psychological manipulation on her in order for them to keep control of her. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, well, thank you, Johan. I appreciate that. So, yeah, but these are just subtle. This anchoring is a subtle technique that they use. Kind of like they use. I'll give you a good example. When I'm driving down the highway and I see black and white Dodge Cruisers, I automatically associate them with an unmarked police officer. How many times you've been driving down the road and a car come up behind you or beside you, or you meet a car and from a distance they look like a cop? And then you go to your local courthouse and there is unmarked cars parked everywhere. And then you got marked patrol cars, and you automatically mentally associate whatever type of vehicle as a cop. It's anchoring. All right, that's enough of that. Air stalking. Woo-wee. Air stalking. Drones, helicopters, airplanes. This is when helicopters or planes are used to track targets that are on foot or in cars. They fly overhead and follow the targets from one location to the next. Some will monitor the targets shortly after they leave their homes. Wow. Know a lot of people on YouTube using drones, and they like playing with them too. That's what I'm talking about. They're using drones. Baiting entrapment. The term baiting is a stalking tactic used to lure a victim into environments or situations which cause further problems to the victim. Often baiting involves tricking a victim into committing a crime or unknowingly engaging in an illegal activity to lure into dangerous, difficult, or a compromising situation. Members of these organized stalking and harassment groups will try to lure targets into various situations for the sole purpose of setting them up. Setting up targets could involve getting them arrested, institutionalized, set up on fake sexual harassment charges, drug charges, illegal pornographic materials, etc. Once this happens, it puts targets at risk for entrapment into becoming members themselves. Okay. I don't know how much longer this is going to go on. There's a lot of information here. Y'all want me to go on? Let me know. Now I got to find my spot. Let me go back here. I don't have anyone there. Dragon dropped. Dragon, you left me. How dare you? Well, I'm gonna rush through a couple of things. Like I said, I wanted to get into a couple more. All right. I'm going to go on and mention this. We've covered entrapment. Brightening is using flashing bright headlights to targets. They involve themselves in car accidents to target you. Now, the car accidents are used for insurance fraud. Crowding and mobbing. They'll target. They'll take and target someone. Is right here. They will stand too close to the target or swarm them. Quote, we experienced being mobbed by vehicles from Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey at the beginning of our trip. Some of the gang's talkers were couples with their children along. Some smirked at us and showed weapons to us through their windows, though none actually fired upon us. Wow. Color harassment. They literally use use of color to harass a victim, usually monochromatic color schemes. Red, certain colors, they use the same color every time, and it's more of a psychological thing. Convoys, tailgating. Then you have cyber stalking and cyber harassment. I did want to cover this. Cyber stalking and cyber harassment is a related group of harassing behavior occurring via internet online. Cyber stalking includes, but is not limited to, computer hacking, trolling, spamming, often including porn delusions, verbal assaults, character assassination, and impersonations of the victim. Online harassment is a plank of the harassment protocol. There's a lot of information here. Directed conversation is a term referring to a stalking tactic using strangers' conversations to both intimidate and convey to the victim that they are under surveillance. Wow. Electronic harassment is the use of technological services to spy or cause harm to targeted victims. Directed comments. I've already done that one. What am I doing? My cursors are jumping. Hold on a minute. Fake credibility reports. Fake credibility reports. Fake credibility reports are being used to subtly discredit and attack legitimate websites regarding organized gang stalking. Wow. Boy. You can go to gangstalkingworld.com for more information. You're welcome, Dark to Light. You can pick up and rewatch. Yes, it is. Stockholm syndrome of the internet. It absolutely is. Maybe that will be a future show right there. That will fall under my domestic violence awareness for Stockholm syndrome. Files. It's been indicated that targets will have warning markers placed against their files. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I've heard this threat before. I'm going to call and report you. You're doing this. You're doing that. I'm going to call and report you. I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to sue you. Okay. Sue me. For what? Telling the truth? Okay. Okay, you can't get blood out of a turnip. I had nothing when I started. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to stand my ground. Okay. So you know this about me. Okay. Where'd you hear that from? Keep in mind, you're under oath. Do you even know what the word oath means? Yes, I have these little scenarios play out in my brain all the time. I'm not crazy. Well, not in that manner anyway. Gaslighting. Oh, I think we touched base on that one just a little while ago. Gaslighting is a psychological technique used by Let me start over. Gaslighting is a psychological technique used by members of these groups. Well, looky there. It's a good thing they didn't have me. Look at this. They just misspelled all kinds of stuff in this one. The purpose of gaslighting is to make a victim question his or her sanity. Wait, didn't I just tell y'all I was crazy? Am I crazy? Because I think you're crazy. Okay. Gaslighting is not really a funny matter. You just got to make light of a boring situation for the moment. There was a movie called Gaslight, starring Ingrid Bergman. Yeah, there's some good movies out there about this stuff. Gaslighting has been going on for centuries. Ghosting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, now we can have some fun with something that's serious. How many of us, now keep this to yourself, how many of us, some of us should be ashamed if it happened as an adult, unless you had teenage children, ghosting. I had friends that were always pulling pranks. I woke up one morning to my daddy beating on my bedroom door, telling me to contact my friends and come get their GD real estate signs out of my front yard. This is a method of ghosting. I've had paybacks are a bitch because I got them back. But anyway, that's having fun with ghosting. But when you're being gang stalked, yeah, I'm sorry, but this right here is funny to me because they take advantage of one's sense of humor. I have a really close friend that lived with me for a brief moment. And I'm trying to state this without giving out too much personal information. But he was a notorious prankster. I came in from work one day and I sat down, turned the TV on, and my pictures on my wall had been hung upside down. I had little trinkets sitting around, and they had been moved. Folks, if these people are coming into your home and doing this shit to you, that's breaking and entering, unless they live there with you. But this ghosting to me is serious, but it plays on your sanity if it's not good, done in good purpose. Jackie, I've done this crap to my kids. I have. I've done this to my kids just to be funny and not think anything of it. I have rearranged their closets. I put it's silly shit like that they take advantage to harass you over. And it's funny if you've got that kind of sense of humor, but it's serious if you're a target. And I don't know about you, but if I find out somebody's been in my house that ain't welcome, I'm going to hunt you down. I'm sorry. You don't come into my house and move my shit. It's just not going to happen but one time, maybe twice. Yes, it can absolutely be serious. Now, we're another serious matter on ghosting. Okay, now I'm going to get serious here. Okay, ghosting is bad because if you are in a controlling or an abusive relationship, that's a technique that they absolutely use so that if something does happen, they can come back at you or law enforcement or a medical professional to say, hey, She's been talking about shit moving in the house. She's been talking about ghosts in the house. She's been talking about our house being haunted. She's been talking about she's just absolutely batshit crazy. She's absolutely lost her mind. This when it gets serious. But to be a general prankster and having a sense of humor versus being used as a manipulative tool, that's a big difference. And this is what they're talking about, being used as a tool to manipulate your sanity. Gestures. Oh, goody. Hand gestures such as intentionally touching hand to face or bringing fist or hand to face while around the person being targeted. Arm gestures. Members of these organized stalking and harassment groups repeatedly driving by a person who is being targeted or on their home holding their arms out of their vehicle windows, usually in an unnatural position. Kensuchi. Gestures. Okay, I told the people across the street from my business that I was going live on YouTube, and they got their base cannons rolling. I even have a big sign on my door that says live YouTube broadcast in session on my door. They know what I do, and sometimes I feel like that is their way to harass me. Arm harassment gestures used by these organized criminal groups to harass targets or victims does not have anything to do with abusing or domestic violence. This is the excuse and pretext that these criminals are using in an attempt to justify stalking or harassing other individuals for years at a time. These bizarre arm harassment gestures are only a small portion in a criminal harassment tactic that is used as a part of the large syndicated crime of organized gang stalking. It is also important to note that these individuals are claiming that it is the police doing the arm harassment gestures. If the arm harassment gestures are being done by police, then it is a corrupt syndicated police officers taking advantage of his position of authority and using it to harass other victims while giving his fellow officers and department a bad negative image. To our knowledge, these arm harassment gestures are not taught at the local police academy. We could be wrong, but we are quite certain they are not. I don't mean to give y'all vertigo when I'm doing this. I just lost my place for a second. Illegal surveillance. Examples are illegal criminal electronic monitoring, phones and computer taps, remote neural monitoring. Let me read those again. Electronic monitoring, phone and computer taps, and remote neural monitoring. Oh, Johanna, she's not there anymore. Folks, if you're sitting at your device or on your devices and your cursor starts moving on its own and you cannot find out if it's a stiff cord, or you debunk that it's a stiff cord, you debunk that it's the way your cords are arranged to your devices, and they're just willy-nilly moving on their own, or your screen starts scrolling on its own, or your phone starts flashing, or your device starts flashing, or anything like that, you need to get a report filed and get to an IT tech as soon as possible. Okay. I'm going to need help with pronouncing this. It's spelled Mimicry. It's also known as mirroring. It's a specialized form of harassment in which stalkers publicly imitate every movement made by the victim. Well, I think we've all experienced that. Making fun of people's looks, making fun of a lot of things, duplicating conversations. Wait a minute, I just caught something. Gossip. Um, yep, exactly. Like your phone is taking a pic. Yep. If your phone starts flashing and things, little things like that, yes, definitely document that shit. Document it. It's on the screen, Kintsugi. It's the MIMICRY. It's also called mirroring. I have noticed by watching other people's channels that they will duplicate information and try to take credit for themselves. That they're the ones, they're the originators of the content, or like it was their idea. Mobbing is a term that describes group bullying. Um, Mobbing and entrapment go hand in hand, so keep that in mind. Noise harassment campaign. Oh my goodness, I think I just brought that up. Woohoo! Loud mufflers, doors slamming, loud music, loud vehicles. Number harassment. Is literally the use of numbers to harass a target and victim. Wow. Let's go down here. This can include the brainwashed members of the cults driving by victims' home at a certain time, exiting or entering the neighborhood at a certain set time, performing a harassment task or skit at a certain time of day. Number harassment may be done in synchronicity with other members of these cults. I cannot believe, as tired as I am, that I said that correctly. For example, a member of the cult arrives home at 7:07 in the afternoon, and another member of the cult leaves at 7:07 at the same time. The next morning, one of the same members of the cult leaves at 7:07, followed by another member of the cult. The only logical explanation that can be drawn as to why these brainwashed cult members are using local police 10 codes to harass other citizens is that they have been deluded into thinking that they are somehow police. Copy that. 10-4. No 29s. I may have to go 10-7. Sensitization is a psychological term referring to a focused association between a stimuli and a corresponding reaction. For example, if a stalker constantly harasses a victim while wearing a blue baseball cap, then over time the victim will begin to believe anyone wearing a blue baseball cap is a stalker and is coming to harass. Now, what I have seen is the sensitization, and what I have witnessed is certain brands and logos of clothing. What, did you turn the light switch on, Petey? Pretty much. That's exactly what it is. Now, I'm not going to read this full section. However, it is important um, because there's a lot of trigger words in this little paragraph. So I will wrap this up. Sensitization undoubtedly creates an extreme level of fear in a victim and direct fulfillment of the intentions of a stalker. This is why it's so important, folks, to be careful about sharing your personal information in these chats. I said I wasn't going to go there, but I think I'm going to mildly touch on it. And this is hypothetically and theoretically speaking. This is not sharing anyone's personal information. If I were a victim of a crime to the point that I was traumatized, which anytime you're a victim of a crime, you most of the time are, and I was held down and I could only see a certain style of shoe that my attacker was wearing, but never got a visual of their face, I would mentally associate that style or of a particular shoe as a trigger. The sensitization falls under triggers. Please do not share your personal information. Please don't, not in this chat. I'm just trying to hypothetically and theoretically give you an idea of what this is. It's hee-haw time. What are you talking about? You want me to sing for you? I will. I mean, I ain't got nothing else to do right now. Oh, yes. Okay. You ready? Okay. I'm going to sing. Petey, you done it. You done it. I need to take a break for a minute. So now is the opportunity of a lifetime. So I'm going to harass you all. We're not one for going around spreading rumors. While really we're just not the gossiping kind. Okay, that's all you get. While you'll never hear one of us repeating gossip. So you better be sure to listen close the first time. Okay, that's it. No more. And on that note, that poor note, I'm going to introduce the street theater. Y'all are such a fun group. Street theater is a term used to describe the odd actions and behaviors that stalkers sometimes neighbors do in public in an attempt to rile the victim up. Such behavior often borders on the extremely bizarre and is aimed at a blurring of the boundaries between reality and fantasy in the minds of the victims. This is running into people that are acting very unusual or people that are putting on a show or production known as street theater. This could be as minor as public rudeness or people acting out a harassment skit. There will usually be someone nearby to see how you react to it. This is again looking for weakness or reactions. If you show an adverse reaction, they will try to embellish on this and use it against you later. Street theater is harassment skits done by strangers and neighbors who have been recruited into these stalking and harassment groups. Examples of street theater include baiting, brightening, color harassment, convoys, directed conversation, ghosting, mirroring, noise campaigns, etc. Wow. Well, thank you, Petey. I was just being silly. I was just being silly. You're welcome, love. Well, thank you, Jackie. I'm just playing. Are you peeing with me again? I'm not peeing. Y'all are more than welcome to come back on panel. I don't see anybody here. All right. And Petey, honey, I don't know if we're going to make it into this or not. How long have I been going? Okay, we've covered sensitivation, street theater, synchronized harassment activities. Y'all, this website, just kind of make a notation. It's under gang stalking, mind control cults.com. They communicate with, let's touch on this one. How these stalking and harassment groups communicate signals and symbols. Oh, wait. Did this website just talk about signals and symbols? So, what this article is saying is that communication happens in a number of ways. When on the street or in cars patrolling, they use baseball or Stasi-like symbols. These include things like tapping the side of the nose. Do they have a booger? Corner of the eye. I have something in my eye. Brushing back their hair 3 times. Oh, I'm just gorgeous. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. The infamous double blink. Oh, my mascara's running. Hold on a minute. Members of these organized stalking and harassment groups will also communicate with each other on the street by using signals. Below are some of these examples. I'm so glad I don't have my camera on right now because you would really all be laughing your asses off. Okay, signals for observation. Watch out! Subject is coming. Touch nose with hand or handkerchief. 2. Subject is moving on, going further or overtaking. Stroke hair with hand or raise your hat a little bit. Raise your hat a little bit. Oh. Oh. No. No. Oh. Cherish the memories. Always cherish the memories. Observing agent wishes to terminate observation because cover threatened. Bend and retie your shoelaces. See, these are all little things, anytime everybody's watched an action movie, we all know what they are. Yeah, that's kind of like me. When I get agitated, Joy dish soap, hands so soft. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. Okay, I really want to wrap this up on this part anyway. We got to somebody. Can somebody write this? I'll write it down. Dang it! I've got like 1,001 ink pens here. I have a hell of a pen collection. So we're gonna wrap on the gang stalking for just a few minutes. We'll probably pick this up. We've got to synchronized hand movements. So probably we're gonna pick this up. I want to cover slander, and then I want to move on to another cool website. Slander. Now we were talking about that earlier, defamation, stalking, all that. When it comes to slander, They will go behind the target's back and tell lies about them. Often the lies will consist of the target being into something illegal, or is something dangerous, or just needs to be watched for some vague reason. Then they will say the target is a prostitute, a drug dealer, crazy, terrorist, racist, or pedophile. Okay, folks. We have seen the reverse of all of this. They reverse public information through observation and documentation as a defense tactic. Document, show proof, save it, write it down, ledge it, don't lose the information, create a timeline, because they're doing the same thing to you if you're a target. This is why it is so difficult for law enforcement to prove gang stalking. This is why a lot of times that investigations are botched. It's unfortunate, but if you don't document this shit, you ain't going to have a leg to stand on in your defense. And trust me, they ain't too good at it if they can't keep their facts straight. So you got sleep deprivation, telephone redirects, wrong number phone calls, phone harassment. And then there's variations of gang stalking. Intimate infiltration. This is where members of these groups will go out of their way to get into a target's life. We've seen that happen. There's that intimate infiltration, is that 6 degrees of separation that everyone likes to refer to. Isolation. For harassment to be successful, it's important to be able to isolate the target from friends, family members, co-workers, and even spouses if they are not already involved in the harassment. Profiling. They'll be observed and profiled long before they ever become or are aware that they're even a target at all. They will gather information from your friends, from your families, from your other subs, from your other mods. Yeah. Random encounters. I've had a few of those. It's a good thing I didn't marry any of them, because some of them were pretty good looking. But I'm being funny. But random encounters, that does happen a lot, especially when these people have placed these gang members. And when I say gang members, please understand I'm talking about gang stalking participants. They create these little groups, and they have these people engaged in their activities. And what they'll do is the individual that's actually making all of the noise may be in one location, but they've got friends and followers and supporters scattered about. And if they find out where you're at, they will they'll go on your social media pages. They will find your friends. They will get them to talk about you, even your family. They will target your family. They will troll your Facebook account. They will troll your Instagram account. Instagram's a little bit tougher to troll, but they will troll your Facebook, your Snapchat. TikTok's even hard to troll. I don't like those. I don't like those accounts, especially when I'm dealing with victims. It's hard to stabilize information from these accounts, and this is why they use it. And exactly right, it's extortion. But they will take and have people visit you or have people call you up out of the blue that you haven't talked to in years or maybe months or days. And they will initiate a conversation with you that you may deem just absolutely innocent, but that individual will run back and tell them what you talked about. Man, all she could talk about was you. What do you mean? How you're such a bad person and everything. Hell, you got this bitch scared shitless. She actually thinks you're going to come after her. And guess what? You've just been gaslit again. They put it to the point to where you have nowhere to turn and no one to trust. This is how bad it gets. They make you they put you in such a state of psychosis that you're the crazy one. There is a motivation, Jackie. There is a motivation. And if they get that close to you, guess what they've created? They've created a scheme and a scam. All right. So now we've got a pretty good idea of all this. I was getting closer than I thought I was. So this article goes on talking about vehicle tactics, foot tactics, and how they introduce themselves into your lives directly, that they ruin your relationships. They pass you around like a wet dish towel. They just use and manipulate you to the point. They use deception, they lie, they specify smear campaigns using bogus investigations. Ooh, maybe I should read this one. So when targets are in a relationship, the members of the organized gang stalking group will try to ruin that relationship. This could be friendships, family, or significant others. If it's a romantic relationship, they will find out what your significant other likes and try to get them to cheat or leave you. If it's a friendship, they will tell lies to come between you. The same goes for family. This is done so that the targets will have no means of support once they do realize that something is going wrong in their lives. When this mobbing continues out in the community, it is called organized stalking. Organized stalking is mobbing that takes place out in public. Deception using lies about the target appeared to be the most common method used to get citizens to participate, specifically smear campaigns using bogus investigations. Furthermore, it is likely that they take advantage of existing federally sponsored mechanisms, such as community crime watches or community policing organizations, senior citizen organizations, or religious groups, and use them as unsuspecting instruments in their retaliation campaigns. Many people across the country have reported being harassed by these community groups. Some of these people think they're doing a community service. This is a very well-funded and organized service cult that is apparently condoned or even run by the state. The perpetrators of organized gang stalking are serious criminals who do great damage, and the acts done are very serious crimes by any measure. Organized gang stalking is a highly criminal campaign, one directed at a target individual, and one that aims to destroy an innocent person's life through covert harassments, malicious slander, and carefully crafted and executed psychological assaults. Organized gang stalking deprives the targeted individual of their basic constitutional rights and destroys their freedom, setting a stage for the destruction of a person, socially, mental, and physical, through the ceaselessness assault that pervades all areas of this person's life. Absolutely, Angie girl. The vengeance of destruction. absolutely tear you down while committing their other crimes. Now, if y'all hang out with me just for a few more minutes, I'm going to go into something else. I'm sorry, Dragon. I'm sorry, Dragon. I didn't see you sitting there till I just flipped back over.
Oh no, you're all good. Don't worry about it. I was doing my diamond art. Listening.
Petey, woman, you gonna get in trouble for that.
What you talking about, homegirl?
That her camera system was so good, she can see her neighbor's a-hole.
Oh, Jesus.
Which side of his head does he part his hair? Excuse me. All right. All right, so now that we know how these people are targeted, does anybody want to come up and ask me any questions?
Well, I got one for you.
Okay.
I'm not going to give names or nothing, but I will freely say this. Can people be that sick and twisted and stalk and turn around and use your name and put it in someone else's obituary
Yes.
without your consent,
Yes.
even though the person's evil as can be and thinking they're getting away with it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the reason
I'm going to do a future show on First Amendment rights.
Okay.
I will do a show on First Amendment rights.
The reason I asked you is because a person came to me today and said that in this obituary was talking about a 3-month-old baby. And the person that was evil enough to do this went and used this person's name and put it in there and changed it and thinking they were getting away with it. Well, I heard that and I'm like, that's evil intent right there.
Did you contact the place of business that this happened?
This didn't happen to me. This happened to someone else.
Well, encourage them to make sure they document that and contact the proper individuals, because you can request that certain information be removed from the public's attention. I know this because when it comes to children, priority is to protect that child's identity.
All right.
And a lot of times when individuals are reported or convicted of crimes against children on every level,
right,
they will request that certain information be extracted in protection of the children's identities. Because a lot of times, if you live in small communities, parents and family members are automatically associated with these children being victims. So they will ask the newspapers and the local authorities to extract information to protect the child.
When we're offline here, I'll explain the rest.
Okay, but that's usually a go-to protocol for most agencies to protect that child's identity.
When I heard that just flipped my lid. I got it. Well, I had to leave. And my phone was getting too hot. And I read that information and I'm going, what the hell? This isn't good what's going on here. Literally.
None of this is good what's going on anywhere. I mean, this is absolute evil.
Yeah. I mean, people are sicker than sick and demented and evil and twisted and want to ruin people's lives any way they can and thinking they're coming out clean as a rose, you know?
I'm looking at chat for a brief moment. I'm still listening to you, darling.
Oh, I know you
My
are.
brain, you've talked to me before. You know how my brain, well, most of you get an idea of how my brain works.
I do, though. I've known you a long while.
Asia, girlfriend, don't ever say you're a narcissist magnet. And I'm going to tell you why. You know what they are now? The best way to deal with them is to ignore them. They hate it when you ignore them. And the more you ignore them, and the more you go against them, and the harder they attack you, the more grounds you got against them. So if they do something to harm you in any kind of way, you file that shit and you do something with it. I will stand right beside you. I will hold your hand. Document that shit. That goes for anyone in my chat or anyone in my chat who has friends or family in a narcissistic relationship. It does not have to be a domestic relationship. If you are absolutely dealing with a narcissist, document that shit. Ignore them. Because the longer you ignore them, the madder they get. The madder they get, the more retaliative they get. The more stupid they become. You let them hang their own shit.
Oh, believe me, I know that well.
Don't threaten them and don't give them an invitation. You let them do it to themselves because a narcissist will do one of two things. They will either screw up and do something to cause you bodily harm or injury or death. I'm not telling you to let that happen. They will either do that or they will back off and move on to their next victim. And that is what is so sad about domestic relationships involving narcissism.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a strong-willed individual and not be a narcissist.
Exactly.
But if you are groomed and conditioned into narcissistic relationships to where you're walking on eggshells all the time and you are living in submission all the time, all you're doing is allowing the vicious cycle to continue. You become groomed and conditioned yourself, and your actions become a reflection on others. I struggle with it every day. Well, then you've got a special skill, darling. If they walk away and they don't put up a fight, you've won a battle.
Yep.
You're winning the war. You just keep doing what you're doing. You just keep doing what you're doing. Because the hardest thing for me in escaping my narcissistic situation was I was born into a narcissistic situation. And everything I did was a reflection of my upbringing and the conditions of my relationships with others. And I struggle with it every day. You can be a strong person and not be a narcissist. Redirect the control to your own action. I'm not talking directly to you, darling. I'm just talking as to everybody.
I know.
I'm not targeting anyone. Please don't misunderstand me. You find strength in yourself.
Yep.
Find strength in yourself. And you've got it. You've got it or you wouldn't get up every day. You've got
That's
it.
right.
You wouldn't find something to believe in and fight for.
Yep. I agree with that statement.
I mean, everybody's got an asshole, but not everybody has to be one.
Exactly.
All right. Petey, is your phone cooled off yet?
Mm-hmm.
Is Petey's phone cooled off yet?
I don't know.
Now, why am I in my own chat This makes no sense to me. I've lost
Love,
viewers.
I don't know.
I
You
have
still there?
lost viewers. I'm still here. You still there?
Yeah.
I had
You
muted
lost
everybody.
viewers?
Huh?
You lost viewers?
I have lost viewers.
Okay.
I am showing
Well,
that I am 14 participating.
huh.
Thank you, gossip.
Anyway. You know, you and I've known a long while here. Hmm. You know I'm right there, love. So yeah, like,
Hold on just a second, darlings. I've got an important. Hold on just a second. I'm not going to time you out or any. I mean, I'm not going to block you or anything.
damn bugs, go away.
Hold on just a second. Somebody has asked a question, and I have, since I've been sharing my screen, I've overlooked it.
Oh shit.
Mm. Oh, that's weird. I don't have anybody. I don't even have any mods assigned.
You didn't even. I know, because when I came in, I said, "Hey, Genevieve." Come on, I'll go look. I have to get my phone charger too.
Oh, hold on, darling. I got you. Let me do it this way. Let me get back in there.
All right.
Let me get in there. We gonna snug up the old snuggly here.
Right, love? I need your help with a few things.
We're gonna lace up the shit kickers here.
Where's my tablet? Why did it do this?
Try that, darling.
Hang on. I'm trying to. Why did this take me out of your chat? Now I'm trying to find your
I'm having
screen.
another issue too. I'm having another issue with another sub, and it looks like a couple of my subs left because. Too. I'm having another issue.
Okay. Well, I'm in your chat now. Okay, what's the problem?
Okay. It looks like someone is trying to remote access my chat and come in as a hidden mod, and I don't have anyone as a mod.
Yeah, I know.
I have one now, but I don't have any.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I just added Petey as a mod, and I do not see her wrench. I'm having trouble with that.
Okay. I'll try to help you with that because I've done it so many times myself. What I've done, I mean, this is just me personally, but what I've done is when I've done a live stream or I'm doing a live stream, I go into my tablet or phone and I can automatically leave my stream real quick, not totally disappear, but I can go and mod people up that way. I don't know anything about a laptop or nothing, but that's what I've done in the past. So I'm trying to help you the best way I know
You
how.
are, darling. You are. You are. I'm just trying to get this straightened out the best I can, because this is weird. I mean, I've got subs comments getting removed, and they're saying they're being ignored. And I don't. I mean, up until just now, I've not had any mods in any of my chats.
Yeah, and it says 17 in chat. That's what it looks like on my tablet. But I'll be right back. I gotta go get my phone charger. I didn't leave. I'm just getting my phone charger.
You're fine. Okay, Petey, I'm gonna drop a link. Do you feel like coming up, or can you? Or somebody. This is a little quirky for me. I'm gonna drop the F-bomb. This is the fuckery I'm tired of. This is the fuckery I'm tired of.
Sorry about that. Sorry, Jen. I had to go get my phone charger. My phone ain't charging fast enough today. I don't know what the issue is. Okay, so 16 in chat.
Yeah, I've just noticed that too, Petey. Some of the comments were made, and then I seen them gone.
Okay, I do see her wrenched.
Yeah, I do on my phone. I just had to log back in. I did see that.
Okay.
And Truth and Justice said that I can mod from the phone, by the way. Yes, and that's how I added her wrench, because I'm streaming from StreamYard. Now,
Okay.
Truth, if you want to come up or gossip, y'all can come. Yeah, anyone's welcome on my panel. I mean, if I don't like you, I can either make you love me or I can kick your ass out. It's that simple.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'm looking. Where's that comment I made? What the fuck?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I see you. Only thing I ask with more than two people on the panel is kind of try to avoid any overlaps in words and verbiage and all that. Let each other speak. Give each other time to speak. That's all I ask, because I just don't like people talking over each other, and I don't like feeling like I'm talking over someone else. Well, I had a plan of action to go into revealing pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes. But now that I've had this issue, I'm eating into some time here. How long have I been running?
Over 2 hours.
and 31 minutes, it says.
Well, we can cut it short. I'll give about 15 minutes for people if they want to ask me any questions, so I could watch the chat for a few minutes and let people get back to their families.
Well, I need to talk to you anyway, Jen.
You're fine. We can talk. Give me
Privately,
about 15 minutes. Okay, I had a couple. If I missed any questions, can you repost them for me? Because I've been scanning and looking for comments, and I think so, Angie. But I think we've got it straightened out for the moment now.
Well, there was definitely somebody deleting stuff.
Well, for you YouTube veterans in here, is it possible that if you're a moderator on another channel that you can go in on another channel and delete crap?
Actually, no. I don't think so.
Could you go in and hide a sub from a channel? Because I've heard that that's been done before.
Yep. I've heard that's been done many times.
Really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Well, I'm not going to make this my own personal disclaimer, and it takes a lot to piss me off. There's a lot of people on these YouTube channels that have a lot of skill and a lot of resources. And if we have to utilize skills and resources to remove these people from not allowing the truth to be out there in education and awareness, you can be found.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that was the point of deleting some of the things that people were posting, because what was being posted was the truth. And whoever deleted those, they knew what they were doing.
Well, I know damn well it wasn't me.
Kensuji, did you repost your comment? Oh, okay, I got you. I'm following you. Yes, it is possible, apparently. If they get access to your ISP address, they've got access to a lot of things.
Oh, Lord.
Lovely.
If they get access to your email account that you use as your primary account, they can get access to a lot of things.
Oh, hell.
No, great. Not.
If y'all want to do a little extra homework, look into OSINT and look at all that. Truth, we mean no. Yes, it is possible, darling, because I've had it happen. I've been locked out of 5 of my Facebook accounts and had to restart all of them, and one of them was a business account, and it was duplicated.
Yeah, you had a problem for like 2 weeks being locked out of almost everything.
Mm-hmm. And see, I was even being remotely controlled on some of my stuff too.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Really?
And when I went into my YouTube studio, and it being the only reason I had the YouTube channel to begin with is so that I could watch others' channels and create playlists. And when I went in to set up my actual YouTube channel to be doing what I'm doing now, I discovered some people that were posted on my studio, and when I clicked on their link, it was no information available.
As administrators.
Mm-hmm. If someone was molded before or modded before and has not been unmodded, they can come in your live without chatting. You will not see them. They can also go to old lives and block people. Well, thank you for sharing that information, because it looks like I'm going to be investing in a new software that tracks anyone and everyone accessing my YouTube channel. Don't think I will play with you nicely.
Right.
Because I play a mean game of dodgeball.
Oh.
Well, Petey, I didn't get to cover tonight the pyramid schemes and the Ponzi schemes, but
Yeah.
I think I covered enough information that give a baseline to what to look for.
Well, that's another night.
And we are definitely dealing with pyramid and Ponzi schemes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when they think of a Ponzi scheme, they think of you know, Madoff and people like that. But in a roundabout way, pyramid and Ponzi schemes can happen in smaller groups with people that don't have a lot of money.
Well, here's what they're doing. They're targeting the poor. They're targeting the vulnerable. And then if you don't play into their games, they find other methods of targeting you. And that falls under the gang stalking that we were talking about.
Right.
And, you know, people sharing monies that come in by way of however they receive money, and that person divvies it to other people, and then those other people divvy it to other people, and they get more people in to make more money, and it just keeps on filtering and trickling. And mostly everybody that's watching, they know exactly what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. They absolutely do know what we're talking
Just
about.
a recent case, what was her name? Holmes. People do all kinds of pyramid schemes many different ways, but it still ends up being the same. If you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig.
Oh, and they're gonna make fun of you. They're gonna belittle you. They're gonna tear you down. They're gonna try to destroy your self-esteem. They're gonna make you feel like a dependent, a submissive servant.
You think?
They're gonna
Are you talking that they would try and do that to me?
No, I'm just talking about that's how they treat everyone.
Oh, good luck.
They make you feel insecure. Let's see if this works. I will share this if it'll show up. Aha, it's working. I'm getting the whirly gig. It's making me very sleepy. There you go.
Does that say pot tracker? What the hell does that say?
Nope.
You know I'm blind.
It's Ponzi tracker. Ponzi tracker. Ponzi scheme
What in the world?
It's the Ponzi Scheme Authority website.
Mm-hmm.
Top Ponzi schemes, Ponzi scheme database, Ponzi case websites, top Ponzi recoveries, and then it goes all the way back and gives each year to date on the year to date Ponzi schemes. Actually, thanks to our authorities and getting involved and knowing who to report these activities to, yeah, it's getting much. I mean, to me, it's seemingly getting better in exposing these fools.
A lot of people don't even aware. No, they're not even aware that they're in one. If they're not part of it, they're, might be a group of 400 or 500 people, 200 people, 100 people not even aware that they're a part of it. Of what's happening, what's going on. They don't see it.
Yeah.
Now, for clarification, there is a difference between someone or a group of individuals deemed under the umbrella of an organized group of people, not an organization, but an organized group of people, going out and sharing information and asking for monetary means to support their cause. That's not a Ponzi scheme. That is being asked to be compensated for services rendered. There's a difference.
Right. Or people knowing that other people are in situations and they gift people money. That's something different. Or they just
Right.
want to help, even though people are not even asking. They take it upon themselves because that's what they want to do, and they help.
Not all businesses and organizations are Ponzi schemes. I am a service provider. I'm a business. I work as a business and as a humanitarian in offering my services. I will invoice for certain services so that my overhead expenses are covered. Whereas a Ponzi schemer will make up crap to play on people's emotions and compassion and lie about certain events to profit off of them and to profit off the lie. Am I
Right.
saying that right? They will make up stories that children are being abused in a home. We need somebody to respond immediately. Well, that's fine and dandy. People need to respond immediately. What people are you reaching out to? It's all in how they're handling. I will never ask for money because I'm going to get the authorities involved. And anyone that has ever heard me on the phone knows that I am very passionate about what I do. And
Well, people promising people certain things that will happen, that, goods or services, and people send in monetary funds and those things never happen. Then it's a new goods and services, and more money is sent in and those things never happen.
okay, you say Petey sends me a couple that they're having an issue, and she sends them to me. I talk to them, I give them resources, and I never ask for a dime of money. That's you can't put a false claim on that.
Mm-hmm.
But if Petey sends me somebody and I say, okay, I tell you what, it's gonna cost you $500 for me to even get involved here, and this is what I'm gonna do. But now, if you know who's doing this to these kids, it's gonna cost you a little bit more. It's gonna cost you a little bit more. You need to send me this person over here. You need to send me that person over there. That's where they're breaking the law.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they're breaking the law.
Yeah.
And if I give someone a resource, not legal advice, but a resource, and put them and place them in the right direction to someone or a group or an organization or an agency that I feel confident in them listening to them, and I go out on a limb to provide them with that information, and them being adults with no money paid, that's their responsibility on what they do with that information. I can't force an adult. No one can force an adult to do anything.
Or, even using like memberships and promising people for high dollar memberships that they're going to receive such and such, and it never comes to fruition, or saying I'm going to make these things, but these things cost money, and people invest in it and it never happens. And other people that are involved in it are promoting it and pushing it. And then when those funds come in, they get a cut.
I think that's probably been known to happen.
Yeah. A lot.
Oh yeah.
Let me see if I can do this for you. This is some of the most helpful information. Let me close out a couple of things here. Let me get this website pulled up for you. This is very important. This is where you can actually report certain things. I don't care what you think about these people or these agencies, but this is something that you can actually get someone to look at things if you have enough stable information for them to go on. Kensuji, I want to see those albino tadpoles because I just got a weird visual in my brain.
Did you read Angie Girl's comment?
I just seen that. Oh, girlfriend. You need to share that.
I can't see chat. What does she say?
Hold on, I'll tell you.
The bar pyramid scheme was posted on ES's Facebook, and that company looks sus as fuck.
Yep.
Chuckle.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there are some people that have been known to have done certain things time and time again, and people still sending in money with nothing in return. At some point, you got to get off of stuck on stupid.
Right. When
And
I
some
seen that,
people, go ahead on.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say some people fall victim to some of this stuff, and they get targeted because they innocently got involved.
That's called blackmail.
Correct.
Extortion is when that person holds some type of a title of office. Otherwise, it's blackmail.
Well, it's like, I'll put it like this. I don't want to give names, okay? But I'll put it like this. The person was told to take down your content and then we'll leave you alone. Blackmailing this person into taking down her content, and then the harassment will stop. Yeah, well, you know what I call that? Bullshit.
I call that kiss it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got you, Kensuji. All right. Y'all take note of this. Please take note of this. There's a number you can call.
Okay.
And when you go, look right here where it says news,
Yeah.
right here, fraud alert. You go right over here. I'll let my cursor do its thing here. Right here. The OIG hotline. Report corruption, fraud, waste, abuse, mismanagement, or misconduct. The Department of Homeland Security Office of Inspector General investigates fraud, waste, abuse, and criminal misconduct involving DHS programs, personnel, and funds. Examples of these types of violations include border corruption, Department of Homeland Security employee criminal activity, cybercrime, misuse of classified information, bribery and acceptance of gratuity, conflicts of interest, disaster and pandemic fraud involving Department of Homeland Security funding, contract and procurement fraud, and whistleblower retaliation. This hotline is not an emergency services network. There's an online fillable allegation form. They ask you to fill one of these out. You can print it out for your records. You can even write them. Well, if my thing would quit jumping. Who can file an allegation? The OIG hotline receives allegations from multiple sources, including Department of Homeland Security employees, to include contractors and concerned citizens. You are protected under the Whistleblower Act. If you believe you were a victim of a whistleblower retaliation, please contact the OIG hotline or the Office of Special Counsel for more information by accessing the whistleblower resources. Can I remain anonymous? You can remain anonymous. So if they come back at you and say, you reported me to Department of Homeland Security. Hell yeah, and I'm encouraging millions of others to do the damn same thing. This is your right. If you don't want them to know, tell them it ain't none of your damn business. Well, we can find out. Do you really want to go down that road?
Exactly.
Because trust me, if you get that information from anyone without me volunteering it, you just screwed the pooch.
Mm-hmm.
It even says, what information should I include in my allegations? Who was involved? What did the individual or entity do? Where did the incident take place? When did it happen? Is it still ongoing? How was the activity committed? How did you become aware of the problem? Who else has knowledge of the potential wrongdoing? And of course, I just told you could file the allegation by mail, phone, or filling out the online allegation form. Now, the online allegation form. It even talks about what to expect after filing an allegation. They will contact you by phone. This is one agency that will, and when they contact you, they will provide you with all of your needed information so that when you hang the phone up with them, you can contact the hotline to verify their credentials based on their badge number. And once a file is closed, you can request it under the Freedom of Information Act. If it is still open, you will get a return statement that it is still open. And trust me when I say, if you've got truthful and honest and supported information, it may take a good minute in stabilizing that investigation. Let them do their job.
Mm-hmm.
Let them do their job. But I'm not going to file an allegation form, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. All right. This is let it do its thing. All right. It is a 6-part complaint form. You want to be correct and concise. You even have a selection. You wish to remain anonymous, disclose my identity to dhs.oig or the OIG, or you want to disclose your information and authorize them to further to disclose your identity. So yes, on a need to know basis. I suggest you choose option 3, because if you are a victim and a direct victim, they may need to access more than just your personal information. And this includes if you're a victim of a Ponzi scheme or some kind of monetary scam, you need them to get access to this stuff to show proof. Your phone records, all that. You need to be in. If you are a victim, you need to be in full compliance. Don't sugarcoat. Don't lie about nothing. These people are top notch.
And don't be afraid of certain people saying that they've worked with or worked for some of these agencies, because they absolutely have not and do not. And y'all know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't continue, but I can't continue without actually filling out the form, but that's what the first part of it looks like. I encourage everyone to do this that has been a victim of anything to do with any kind of interstate overlapping laws. Because if you live in Tennessee and you have proof that that individual is in another state, that absolutely falls under federal guidelines.
Genevieve, did you see the comment I made?
I'm looking now. I was trying to get out of that.
Huh?
What comment did you make? I'm not looking at that.
No, I told Genevieve, I said something of the effect of, hit the like button, please subscribe, and please leave a comment.
Oh,
Thank you. Yes,
But no,
Jackie Blue, I'm planning on having more of these, more of this. Tonight went a little bit longer than I really wanted to, but after I got into that one website, it pretty much covered all of the baselines of what I had planned.
but my comment got disappeared.
I see that. I see that.
Is that
Why?
still happening?
Yes,
Yes, my comment got disappeared
Mm-hmm.
of what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I'm gonna go write it again. Because I know you didn't do it to me. So
Nope. I was
no.
sharing the screen, so I didn't have access.
Well, I'm gonna do it again. Watch this. Okay, you see my comment now, Genevieve?
No, but don't. Nope. Nope. I sure don't.
Somebody's got me blocked in here then, but I can see my comment.
Is it kind of
Oh, wait,
gray?
wait, wait, wait. Yep, it just showed up. Yep, it just showed up.
So somebody's deleting my comment that I just put in there. And that's the same comment what I said, Genevieve. And they took it
I
out.
see it. I see it on StreamYard, but I do not see it yet
On your phone.
uh-uh.
Yeah, well, someone's deleting my comment.
Now I'm seeing Asia says she can see it.
Well,
Jackie says she can see it.
no, she says, yeah, I can't see it. Jackie just said it. She can't see it. So someone's got me blocked out of here.
Okay, I've got to check on something. I just got an alert. Just bear with me just for a second. What the hell? Come on, guys. Please tell me we do not have another kidnapping.
Jackie.
Okay, Angie made a comment that I missed. Oh, okay. So there is a DOS server stressor. Really?
Jackie Blue said, yeah, I can't see it. So she couldn't see my comment. So somebody's got me blocked in here and somebody's messing around.
Well, I'm read Angie's comment. Go up and read Angie's comment while I'm looking for this, because this has got me all messed up.
BK modded DOS server.
How far up did you put your comment?
My
She
comment
just
was
posted it.
at 8:11. And I posted it one other time, the same thing I just said. And it was gone. So I told Genevieve, I said, okay, I'll put it back in the chat and see if it disappears there.
I don't see it.
Yeah, then somebody's fucking around here.
Okay, wait just a second. Wait just a second. Okay. If this is who I think it is in my chat and on my channel causing me problems,
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, you don't know who you're fucking with.
Mm-hmm. That's bad. Because I'm afraid to write that comment again, so just so you can see it. And if someone's got me blocked in here and that one person couldn't see me and couldn't see that I wrote that, something's wrong here, Genevieve.
I got an idea. I just can't voice no opinion right now.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to try writing it again, Genevieve?
Darling, I've got a missing kid. Hold on just a second. Just a second. Bear with me, please. I've just got an update on a missing child.
Oh, shit.
Dragon, when you write it again, before you send it, copy. That way
Okay.
you don't have to rewrite it again, because if it disappears again or doesn't show up, then you can just, hit the cursor and then paste.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, here. I'll try it again.
All right. Froggy says that she can see your comment. So this means that you're possibly being blocked.
Yeah.
Kinseja says she sees you. Jackie says she sees you.
Okay.
Just as soon as I get this flyer, I'm going to share my screen, okay? Just hang tight, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I still don't see your post.
I've got
Okay,
someone that's been
here.
missing since August.
Okay. All right. I'll try it again and see if you can see it, because this is why people are doing this to me. Somebody really must hate me. I know people. All right,
Okay.
there. All right, now click on it. Come on. Oh my God, I can't click on my own comment.
Still not working?
No, I went to click on what I wrote to copy it. It's not letting me do anything. Oh my God.
Well, don't freak out.
All right, someone's really
Ain't
messing
nobody
with me.
freaking out.
No, someone's messing with me now. Nope, it just says I can remove it. I can't copy it.
Is your phone hot?
No, I'm on my tablet. I'm on my tablet typing. And I'm on my phone up here on Genevieve's stream. So at first,
I just went and got my other phone, so now I'm watching some stuff.
but yeah, when I went to go try to copy and paste it, you know, like it started glitching, like it wouldn't let me at all. Nada. Nothing. No joke. I'm not on my phone. I'm typing in the chat on my tablet. It's not my phone. My phone's at 61% right now. My phone's not even hot. I'm on my tablet.
Come on, girlfriend, send me that flyer. Okay.
Because my tablet is not hot. I can go back in and find myself.
No, there's been no comments held for review because there's only one mod. And I'm working 2 devices. I'm running my phone and my laptop, so I can go back and forth between StreamYard and YouTube.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm on my phone up here on your StreamYard, on your live, and I was in the chat on my tablet. But that comment I made is gone again.
Just hit that like button. Build me up, buttercup, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm waiting on a post. It looks like we have a young woman who is off her meds, and she's been missing since August, and it's a possibility she has been picked up and being trafficked.
August what?
She was in the hospital taking ECT treatments, discharged, stopped taking her meds. She's been missing since August the 12th. Went missing between 1 and 3:30 p.m., according to her mom. Her mom is an older woman in her late 60s. Her father is disabled. They both have, one of them has a hearing impairment. Oh, she has a hearing impairment. Her mom states that 3 people have called saying that they've seen her in 3 different service stations with no shoes and dirty, and one of them was about 24 minutes away and 13 miles in the Woodlands, Texas area. They seen her standing under an underpass and looking completely lost. No backpack, no shoes.
Oh, wow. That's not good.
Her information is being circulated, and private investigators and law enforcement are involved. And they're in fear that she might be picked up and moved to one of the trafficking hubs in that area.
Oh, no.
and she is probably now in full psychosis without her meds.
Oh, shit.
She's trying to get me more information, so it may take a minute. Texas sends you, girl. Let's pray the right people find her and get her to a safe location for reevaluation and getting her reunited with her family.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Does anyone have any questions?
Well, this is so messed up. Somebody messing with your chat, love.
Oh, and I ain't sweating them jackasses. You know, if they're afraid they're gonna if they're thinking they're gonna take away from me, they ain't gonna get much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the funny thing is, why would they delete my comment? That's real funny.
Well, if they're acting this way, then they're gonna do what they think they can get away with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait just a second. Got a photo. Let me see if I can share it.
Hi, kitty.
Let me make sure there's no personal information here. Damn it. Okay, I'm probably going to end this chat after I'm able to share this flyer, if I can do it without giving away my personal information.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, it's loading.
They're fine. Everything's new to you, too. You're learning
Yes, and
as we go, love.
this came through on my Facebook page, so I'm trying to be careful with my personal information.
Yeah, I get you. Hey, kitty. I made friends with a really pretty cat. Come here. Come here, man.
I really wish it would not show my images at the bottom of my screen.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I can read this flyer and you can go and look for it yourself. Her name is Crystal Baughman. Baughman. Missing endangered adult. Harris County, Texas. Precinct 4.
Wow. I feel bad for that family, and I feel bad for that girl. Oh, Lord.
Jackie, I don't have a community post to share, darling. Or I would love to share this. Let me see if I can.
If I had a community post, I would too. But I don't.
Missing endangered adult, Crystal Baughman. CrystalBaughman. Age 43. Date of birth, April 15th. Height, 5'7". Weight, 150 pounds. Dark blonde hair, blue eyes, Caucasian, fair complexion, missing since August 12th, 2022, from Spring, Texas. Crystal was last seen on August 12th, 2022. She went for a walk in the Spring area of Cypress Wood Drive and Aldine Westfield Road. She has no phone or vehicle. There is no clothing description at this time. She has not been seen or heard from since. Crystal's family is concerned for her safety. Please share. If seen or have any information, please contact Harris County Precinct 4 at area code 281-376-3472 or call 911. First priority search and recovery at 979-645-1177. There's 2 other numbers I'm not going to give. You can access Crystal Bauman's information by a general missing endangered adult from Spring, Texas, Harris County. I'm thinking I might be able to pull her up this way and share her. Crystal Bauman. There's not even. Apparently, Harris County hasn't issued a missing.
Oh, wow.
She's got a arrest record.
Oh, wow.
But you know what? She's still a human being.
Oh, I get it. I know.
She's still a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to try and save this. I'm not finding anything. I'm not finding the flyer. So y'all hang tight. I'll post more information as soon as I get it available.
Right.
Huh. Just hang tight with that information, guys. If y'all find anything, just kind of use caution with it until I get more of a confirmation on this information, because this isn't setting well with me at all.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good either.
Just kind of keep her in your prayers that this situation, it kind of is handled appropriately and safely. All right, guys, it's been great. I hope everyone benefited from the content tonight. I'm sorry that it went so long.
I learned a lot.
You learned a lot. That's good information to know.
Mm-hmm.
I know I can tend to be a little bit boring. Angie, it's possible she could be anywhere, but without confirming and verifying my information more thoroughly, that's just the general information I can release at this time. I don't have any other further details. And that's let me make sure and verify that she's not already been found, or there's not something else going on. I would feel better before I release any more information. but there's a lot of people in the same similar situation, and let's just pray for all of them to be safe and be returned safely to their family and loved ones, and that they get the help and the support that they need. Well, guys, I appreciate everyone joining us tonight. I appreciate everyone's support for the channel and the content. And if you have any ideas, reach out to me. I'm going to be checking my emails soon. And probably tomorrow, within the next couple of days, I'll be following up with you. And I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Well, thank y'all. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Kintsugi. Love you. God bless you. Y'all take care. Stay sweet.
Oh, shit.